Parmenides was a pre-Socratic philosopher from Elea. He is notorious for denying that there can be any change. He believed that everything is part of a single unified and unchanging whole. All apparent change is merely illusion, according to Parmenides. His follower Zeno extended this idea by providing further logical paradoxes, which attempted to show that motion leads to essential contradictions that are logically irreconcilable. Parmenides essentially argued that motion is an illusion, and his argument for lack of motion was twofold. First, he argued that for change to occur, it must progress from being to non being, since something which was not before now is. For example, if I grow tall, I have to start from not tall and then change to tall. But how could something possible come from nothing? How could being come from nothing, since nothing is completely nothing? After Parmenides, thinkers would recognize that this absolute change is not possible, but change is possible because things do not need to change completely or absolutely. There is something that persists through the change. For example, if I grow tall, it is I who persists through the change. Tall to non tall is not absolute change. It is a kind of a change in form, because the I is the unchanging ground upon which the ball of change can roll. The other argument of Parmenides is about the incomprehensibility of non being. A world in which there is change requires a combination of being and non being, but we cannot possibly comprehend non being since it is absolutely nothing. If you try to think about nothing, you will try to imagine something black, something very dark, but you're assigning a quality of blackness to nothing when you do not even know what nothing is. Nothing is incomprehensible. You do not know anything about nothing. You know nothing about nothing. So when you're assigning that quality of blackness to it, you're not doing nothing justice, right? Because you know nothing about nothing. Thus, the comprehensibility of the world would be undermined by change, according to Parmenides. Parmenides here was again mistaken, since the presence of change only undermines the complete comprehensibility of the world, which is an unfortunate fact which all we people who would like to know more about the world have to deal with. One mistake that Parmenides might have made was that he assumed that change is only absolute change. He rejected change altogether because of that. He rejected change in form because of that. Like the example I gave of from being short to being tall, becoming tall. So that's change in form, but that's a kind of change, right? We cannot reject that altogether, because according to Parmenides there is nothing such as absolute change. Anyway, according to Parmenides, this was his refutation of motion and change, and according to him, change is nothing but an illusion.